Hello everyone, and welcome back to this week's Sabbath School Nugget. Now before I begin, I want to say thank you to Thando for her wonderful thoughts and for walking us through last week's lesson, the New Testament Hope. This week's lesson is entitled, Contrary Passages. Our memory text for this week comes from John 5 and 39. You search the scriptures, for in them you think that you have eternal life, and these are they which testify of me. Sabbath's lesson reminds us that there are people out there who, no matter how hard you try, there's just no changing their mind. It was Steward Chase who once said, "For those who believe, no proof is necessary. For those who don't believe, no proof is possible." I think that's what Paul meant when he said in 2 Timothy 4 and 3, "A time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine." Meaning a time will come when no matter how hard we try, and no matter how much proof we have, people will not be interested in hearing the truth. Simply put, all they want to hear from us is their version of what they believe to be truth. Now add to that some of the more difficult passages in the Bible that seem to contradict what we know to be true about the state of the dead, and our mission to reach the lost becomes even harder. And speaking of hard passages, well, let's jump over to Sunday's lesson, which brings us to the story of Lazarus and the rich man. Now, I don't know about you, but I've had friends who pointed to this story as proof of the immortal soul. And you have to admit, this is a tough one. Here's what we know. First of all, we know that the story of Lazarus and the rich man was a well-known pagan story. Yes, it's a pagan story that everyone treated as a myth that was part of the popular culture. Think Lord of the Rings. Now, everybody knows that the Lord of the Rings is fiction, designed to tell a story that teaches lessons about good versus evil, love, loyalty, and friendship. But nobody believes for 1 minute that Middle-earth is a real thing or that there are hobbits and elves running about. It's just fiction. The same is true of Lazarus and the rich man. It's fiction that Jesus borrowed from the popular culture of his day because everybody knew this story. And the point that Jesus was making was not about what happens when you die. What he was addressing was the issue of justice. Jesus was trying to teach that riches were not proof of God's blessing or a guarantee of salvation, a false doctrine that was common back in the day. As the lesson points out, the story proves two things. Wealth and social recognition in the present do not guarantee us eternal life. And that, well, the eternal destiny of each person is decided in this life and cannot be reversed in the afterlife. So what do we do with this story? Well, we tell the truth, seasoned with love, but we tell the truth. That was our nugget for today. Thank you for joining us, and I look forward to studying with you for the rest of this week. I'll see you tomorrow.